Hola, and welcome to another Spanish lesson. In this lesson, we're going to learn all about the verb llamarse. And that's LL, not Y. Llamarse. Now, I'm going to put a little bracket around this se, and we're going to talk about it a little bit. The verb llamarse is a reflexive verb. So this is what we call our reflexive ending. And what happens with the reflexive ending is that the action is going to be done by the speaker to the speaker. So the subject and the object of the action are one and the same person. But what we're going to be doing is we're going to put llamar, the llamar part of it, we're going to put it through the regular conjugation, and we're going to see how we're going to now add the reflexive endings. Let's go. So the first step is the meaning of llamar, and it means to call or to name. In brackets, I'm going to put oneself. And that oneself specifies or is specific to the reflexive ending. Our second step in conjugation, separate the stem from the ending. So we put our stroke right there. Third step, write the stem 5 times. So we have yam, 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 yam. Then we're going to put on our pronouns or subject pronouns. And I'm putting a little space between our subject pronouns and our verb. We don't normally do it like that, but I'm putting a little space, and the space is for a reason. You'll see in a bit. Then we're going to put on our AR endings. So llamar is an AR verb. So our AR endings are o, as. Say it with me. I know you know it. Come on. A, amos, not amos, an. And then our new meaning is going to be I call or name, you call or name, he or she calls or names, we call or name, they or you all call or name. I forgot something. Let me just jump back up. He or she calls or names, and then remember that we have the you call or name out there as well. Now look at what is going to be happening with this se. Let's find a color I haven't used yet. Let's use this. With the se, it is what you call a reflexive pronoun. So when you see these particular pronouns operating with a conjugated verb, you know you're dealing with a reflexive verb. So we're conjugating it right now. In a little bit, I'm going to give you some examples to show you how it actually works. And so our 5 reflexive pronouns are going to be me, te, se, nos, and se. Let's look at some examples. And so, if the verb, oh, I need to put in the meaning, lo siento, let's go back. Because if yo llamo means I call or I name, me llamo or yo me llamo means I call or I name myself. And so the myself is directly related to the me. The te is going to become yourself. The se is going to be for the he, the she, and the you. So this is going to become, let me see if I can squeeze it somewhere. I'm going to squeeze it right above here. The color coding should help you to remember it or to separate it from the others. Himself, herself, and for the you, again, yourself. Remember that we have these two yous and we know what the distinctions are, right? One for the familiar, one for the formal. We call our name ourselves. They for themselves. And then the you for yourselves. Notice that these down here are pluralized. So let's get to some examples. And I'm going to give you an example of the verb without the reflexive operation, and then show you how the reflexive operation comes into play. And typically we use this verb to speak about telling someone's name or telling our own names or asking someone's name for that matter. And so if we have yo llamo a Ana, this means I call Anna. So I am calling someone else whose name is Anna. However, if I say, let me put on our reflexive pronoun, me llamo Anna, and I'm going to put our pronoun or subject pronoun in brackets. I must confess, I love my subject pronouns. I try not to use my verbs without them. I love them. So you'll always see me adding the subject pronouns wherever possible. So me llamo Ana means literally myself I call Anna. Break it down further. I call myself Anna, or we don't say that in English, right? We don't say myself I call Anna or I call myself Anna. We say my name is Anna. And so in a nutshell, that is how you say my name is, and you tell what your name is. So if we're going to now carry this a little bit further, to say your name is, it would become Te llamas, and I'm going to insert or conjugated ending. So let me go back up here and make our O red. So we know that we have the me going with the O and the te going with the as. So te llamas Ana becomes yourself. The yourself correlates to this, and the llamas means you call or you name. Yourself, you call or name Anna, or you call or name yourself Anna, or your name is Anna. Let's do some more. Se llama Pedro. Let's change the name, Pedro. So this, I'm just going to jump straight to the regular meaning that we know. His name is Pedro. This could also have been your name is Pedro. But what is going to happen here is that you want to be very distinct in terms of what this se is speaking to. Because remember that se can be any of three. It can be él, it can be ella, and it can be usted. Él for he, ella for she, and usted for you. So this Se Llama Pedro here could be his name is Pedro. It could be your name is Pedro. The only reason we don't say it's an ella is because Pedro is a masculine, right? Let's do two plurals. Nos. And we're going to have more than one names now, because this is now we call ourselves, or our names are. Nos llamamos Ana y Pedro. This becomes our names are Ana and Pedro. And our final example, Se Llaman. Let's correct this. Let's keep our colors consistent, and make this black for the stem. And then we put on our ending in red. Se llaman. And we're still using the same two persons. Ana y Pedro. And this could be, their names are Ana and Pedro, because the se again refers to they or you all. So this could be, their names are Ana and Pedro, or your names, and it's your plural now, your names are Ana and Pedro. I just want to show you one more thing, or point out one more way in which llamarse is used, and we're going to look at it in the question and answer category in terms of how the question is asked and what the answer to the question is going to be. So typically, this is the question that we hear. Como, I'm going to start with this one. This is the familiar. Como te llamas? And sometimes the pronoun would be put in brackets, or it would be used. Como te llamas tú? Now, if in English you're being asked, what is your name? Your response is going to be, my name is. And so the response to como te llamas tú becomes me llamo, and whatever your name is. So this is the response to this. I think I'm going to put in brackets out here what the question is actually asking to make it a little bit easier for you to assimilate the information. So this is asking, what is your name? The response, my name is, whatever your name is. Let's look at this question. This is a very tricky one. ¿Cómo se llama? Now, ¿cómo se llama is tricky because the se llama can refer to any of three persons. The se llama can refer to él, it can refer to ella, it can refer to usted. The L means he. I love to repeat. You will find that because I think repetition helps it to stick a little bit better in the brain. The ella refers to she, and the usted refers to you. Now, the como se llama could be asking one of three questions. It could be asking, what is his name, what is her name, or what is your name? And so what happens is, what I tell students to do is this. If you want to ensure that there is no confusion, absolutely no confusion, as it pertains to whose name it is you're asking, when you use como se llama, you can add como se llama él, como se llama ella. You can add these pronouns, or como se llama usted. You can add these pronouns to your question. All right? So como se llama él would be asking, what is his name? I'm going to write it right here. The beauty about these videos, you have something called play over or reverse or play again or repeat, whatever you want to call that little back arrow, you have that facility. So if you don't quite get it, you can play it over until you do. So the L would be what is his name. The ella would be what is her name. And the usted would be what is your name. The usted is our formal or the polite you. Now let's look at how we would answer these questions. I tell students, break it down in English. So if you ask, what is his name? The answer would be, his name is. Lo siento, lo siento. If you ask what is his name, the answer would be, his name is. How do you say his name? So I'm going to put in brackets here the pronoun that you're responding to. Él se llama Pedro. If you ask what is her name, the answer would be, her name is. And so we're going to put ella se llama Ana. But if I ask what is your name, the answer is going to be, my name is. That's the trick right there. So this would be, you wouldn't say your name is. What is your name? Your name is. No. So this now would be, me llamo. Let's give her another name. Me llamo Sandra. And I'm going to put in a different color that this pertains to the usted. Please note that it's not in red like the others, so you won't add them to the response. Where you would say, él se llama Pedro, ella se llama Ana, you would not say, usted me llamo Sandra. So I'm putting it in a different color for you to realize that this response, me llamo Sandra, goes with the usted, como se llama usted. That's what it goes with. Now we have another question that we can ask. We can ask, suppose it's more than one that we want to find out about. We can ask, ¿cómo se llaman? And again, we have three possible pronouns that the se llaman can work with. We have ellos, for they in terms of all male or mixed gender. We have ellas, for they, which would be an all female. And we have ustedes, for you all. So again, these can be added to the question for further clarification. Let's write these questions in English in terms of what they mean. So, ¿cómo se llaman ellos? What are their names? Dealing with all males or a mixed gender. ¿Cómo se llaman ellas? Again, what are their names? dealing with all females. ¿Cómo se llaman ustedes? What are your names? Ustedes, you all. Let's see what the responses are going to be. So, ¿cómo se llaman ellos? What are their names? All those boys or the boys and girls? I'm going to put the pronoun in brackets. Ellos se llaman Ana, Sandra y Pedro. ¿Cómo se llaman ellas? Ellas, all girls now, se llaman Ana y Sandra. Now, ¿cómo se llaman ustedes? Is asking, what are your names? More than one of you, what are your names? You would not respond by saying your names are. You would respond by saying our names are. And so the response for the our names is nos llamamos Ana, Sandra y Pedro. Again, I'm going to put in a different color completely that this response goes with the question when you're asking ¿Cómo se llaman ustedes? Not with any of the others, just the ustedes. And so, in a nutshell, this is the verb llamarse. It means to call oneself or to name, lo siento, or to name oneself. And what you can do is simply, when you come to the end of the video and you're not quite sure what's happening, play it over and over and over and over until you get it. So that's it for this lesson. Adios.